Hello YouTube, Kristina here. I just wanted to share this video that I just did, or this live chat that I just did over at Instagram, because I was addressing some comments and concerns that some of you had on my last video, my 5 tips to make your cards better overnight. I wanted to clarify some things from that video, and so that's why this video is up and down. That's why it's portrait instead of landscape like my usual videos, because I was at Instagram. So sorry about that, but hopefully if you're on a mobile device, you can expand the video and it will fill your entire phone screen. So that might help you view. Anyway, so here we go. I'm gonna go into the live chat. Hi everyone, Kristina here. I just wanted to pop on here live really quick to sort of clarify some things that have come up over the last little bit, and I don't see many people in here yet. Oh, here we go. Good. I never know if it's working until I see people actually come in, you know? So I always wonder. So first I have to back up and give a little bit of history, just in case you weren't following. And there were a lot of comments, there were a lot of responses to go through, so I'm going to summarize a little bit what happened. So on Wednesday, I think it was Wednesday, I posted a video with 5 tips to improve your card making. And there were 2 kind of segments or 2 parts of the video that some people weren't sure about, or they didn't quite understand what I was saying, or that's what I gathered, because what they were saying in the comments, I was like, that's not what I said. So the first one was, it was about, let's see, I had said you can improve your card making by looking for inspiration online and getting ideas and things like that everywhere. And then I said, and so you find your inspiration, but don't copy, because you want to make it your own and things like that. So I suppose I should have taken a moment to clarify what I meant by don't copy what inspiration you see online. And for me personally, and this is different for every person online, you might have a different interpretation, or you might feel differently about it, and that's totally okay. We can have different opinions on this. For me personally, copying or replicating someone's work online for the purpose of learning a technique or improving, sorry, I'm really thirsty here, or improving your own card making is totally okay. But I will say, and someone used the analogy of training wheels in my Instagram comments today, and I thought that was perfect. At some point, you'll want to take those training wheels off and kind of do your own thing, be creative and be original. So when you're learning a new technique, copying that technique, or even replicating the card from beginning to end is totally okay. But at some point, you'll probably want to take those training wheels off and maybe try something on your own. And that's a great way to go about it, and it's a great way to learn, and then you'll be improving all along the way. So that's what I meant by that, by don't copy. And then also that comment about don't copy also opened up kind of like a, I don't know, opened up a can of worms about how do you handle copying, or when is copying okay? And for me, copying's okay when you're learning, or if you are sharing online and you give credit back to the original inspiration. So if you're not sure where the inspiration came from, or you've seen it a lot or something like that, just a simple phrase says something like, I've seen this online a lot, I thought I'd give it a try. The idea is that you don't want to imply that this is like your brainchild and you come up with this on your own. However, let's say you do come up with something on your own and you're excited about it, you want to share, and you put it out there, and then lo and behold, someone else has thought of it too, because it happens a lot. That's okay. I mean, no big deal. I mean, if you want to go back, you can edit your comment and say, we're totally on the same brain wavelength. We thought of the same thing. How cool is that? It doesn't have to be a big deal like they've copied you or you copied them. It's just a pure coincidence. So I also want to mention, when it comes to this copying situation, that when copying is never okay is when the person who is doing the copying is making money from that idea. So an example of this would be, well, this is kind of an extreme example, but if a company takes your card image and puts it on, in their store to sell their stamp set, totally not okay. And I don't know of any stamp companies that do that, so I don't think that would really happen. But like that would not be okay. Or let's say you copy someone's card exactly. It's a complete replica, top to bottom, looks exactly like their card. You put it on your blog and then you use affiliate links. It's kind of a shady area and it's not real great. So if that was the case, I would really recommend changing it up a little, doing something a little different. You could show the card you made that's like theirs, then maybe show your take on it, like how you've altered it. That would be a better option, I think. So, just, I mean, that's a kind of a gray area. Follow your own intuition and your own guts. Do what you feel is right. Some people were saying, or they were asking in the comments, like, how do you know if it's too close to the original inspiration? And it's hard to really like pinpoint that or give you like a set, like, you need to change these 3 things or something like that. Although that's a good guideline. You could do that if you want. But it's hard to say without seeing the cards in question. So my guideline is, if I was to have the original inspiration in front of me and I had my altered card that I veered from that original design, if they were side by side, is there a part of me that is saying, it's a little too close? If that little internal saying is questioning, or if I'm saying, is it too close? That's usually an indication that it's too close and that I need to change up a few more things. So just listen to your guts. You guys have good hearts. You're kind. I know you're not out to copy. In fact, if you have done this inadvertently in the past because you just didn't know you needed to give credit, it's totally okay. Just move forward, give credit where credit is due, and everything is all good. So the other kind of situation or comment I made in that video that some people took issue with, which I don't think there really needs to be issue with, it just maybe the word I used kind of caught them off guard. I was talking about like being aware of your craftsmanship. When you're making cards, a way to improve your cards is to really work on like not being careless or not being a little bit sloppy with your work. If you're aware of how like your craftsmanship is coming across, it will only improve your cards. And perhaps I wasn't clear when I was talking about that in the video. So I just wanted to clarify that. I used the word perfect in reference to getting things aligned and just perfect. And I think using that word was a little bit triggering for some of you. So I apologize for that, but that wasn't what I meant. I didn't mean your cards need to be perfect or anything like that. What I was saying was just be aware of your craftsmanship and try to make your work look its best. That's basically what I was saying. And the best is different for everyone across the board. My best is not the same as someone else's best. So that's all we can really ask for. So I'm going to go back through. There's some comments coming in. I kind of wanted to just go on my rant there for a minute. Someone was saying nothing is original. I guess like you could say nothing is original, but at some point something was original. But unfortunately, sometimes we don't know if what we've come up with is absolutely original because there's so much out there in the ether on the internet. So to a certain extent, I agree with that nothing is original, but there's a part of me that's like, I'm still going to strive for that original thing, Okay, I'm going through comments. Carissa said, I think about how would you, I think a how would you feel question is a good thing to ask yourself. Exactly. So if you're wondering if the card you've made, you're wondering if it's a little close to the original inspiration, try to think if you had come up with that original inspiration and then you saw this other card come about, how would you feel about it? Some people are totally like, copy all my work, all you want, it's no big deal, go for it. And to an extent, I am that way as well. Like if you're using it for your personal card making or you're learning from it, you're giving it to a friend, I'm totally cool with you copying my card directly. I have no problem with that. You don't even have to ask me if it's okay. Like you can definitely use whatever you'd like. Where I draw the line is if you're going to be selling your cards or if you're entering into a contest or you share it online and you're taking credit for it as if it's not a direct copy of someone else's work. That's where I would draw the line. And I think a lot of people are conscious of that, and especially in the Instagram community where the card makers are generally pretty good about tagging someone. For instance, if you see Jennifer McGuire do a really fun technique on your card, a lot of card makers will say, trying out this fun Jennifer McGuire technique. And that's all it really takes, just to give the person a little bit of credit. And yeah, so that's kind of my opinion on this. I'm sorry you have to explain this. I'm not, like, I don't feel bad about having to explain it, because it's a complicated kind of situation. And I think a lot of people, until they've really examined how they feel about it themselves, they might not know how to respond or how to reply. So I kind of like that this has brought up a conversation, and that we're talking about it and we're thinking about it and how we feel about it. So I think it's a good thing to talk about. Let's see. Okay, any more? There's so many comments. Thank you guys for hopping in here. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I think I'm gonna close up this little live chat here. Oh, hey, Jennifer. Jennifer just popped in. I'm gonna close up this live chat. I don't want it to go on and on forever. I just wanted to clarify a few things. And I'll have this live on my YouTube, or not my YouTube channel, hello, on my Instagram for a little bit, so you guys can go back and watch the beginning if you'd like. So anyway, have a great Saturday night. I hope you're having fun crafting and getting lots of fun artsy things done. And have a great night. I'll talk to you guys later.